Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your WWE Raw post show for Monday, June 28th. Tonight, Drew McIntyre qualifies for Money in the Bank, Randy Orton disappears, and Damian Priest reappears. Right? Damian Priest has been gone for a little while. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us. This is the Ringside Report Network. Whoa, already flying in. The Super Chats were flying in before the show even started. Appreciate everybody supporting the Ringside Report Network. Watching the show tonight, Brian Firth. This is his 2-year-old nephew's birthday today. All right. And he wants birthday wrestling impressions. Well, we'll see what we can do for you, Brian. Got an update on your hat as well. Doug Hepburn, member of the team, disappointed because the Canadians lost tonight in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals to Tampa Bay. They lost the game tonight. I'm disappointed, guys. I'm disappointed that they lost. I put a little money on the Canadians to win the Stanley Cup earlier today because I wanted a reason to root for them, the reason to be with you guys rooting for the team, because otherwise I don't really care. But if I have money on it, then I have a rooting interest. So it's too bad that they lost. But as Bob is saying, it's only Game 1, so we'll see. Hopefully the Canadians do win the Stanley Cup, and Big Daddy Dave can win some money. Thank you, Angelo. What's up, Angelo? He says, "What's up, Dave?" I say, "What's up, Angelo?" Dropping the super chat. My man Angelo out in Laval. Sorry about the Habs, but again, only the first game. We're here to talk about Monday Night Raw. Everybody's favorite wrestling show, right? Everybody loves Raw, right? Yeah, maybe not. Good news. This is the 28th of June. Next week, they're in the Thunderdome again. The week after, they're also in the Thunderdome. But after that, they'll be in Dallas, Texas, in front of a real live crowd for a real episode of Raw on the 19th of July. So tonight, we're almost there. We have 2 more Raws in the Thunderdome before we return to real professional wrestling in front of real crowds, which I'm pretty excited about. Wrestling in the month of July is going back to touring. The WWE is touring. AEW is touring. They're starting to move around, and they're going to be in front of real crowds. Now, you can say, oh, well, AEW is real crowds, and The first couple rows are wrestlers, and then the real fans that they do have, they're kind of regulars, right? Because they're just in Jacksonville. So they're probably AEW fans, and it almost feels like a home team. So they're not getting a real reaction. It's like the NXT fans, the people in Orlando or whatever that are always going to the NXT shows. They root for their people. It's a different type of audience that's there on a week-in, week-out basis. It's like a home team that they're cheering for, so they like everybody. It's not a real gauge on who's over and who's not. And we're going to start finding out who's over and who's not in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. First WWE show in front of fans is going to be on the 16th of July. It'll be a Friday night SmackDown in Houston. We have 2 more episodes of SmackDown left in the Thunderdome before we get in front of real crowds. And that is good news. Very good news. Doug Hepburn mentioning France. Yes, France was eliminated in the Euro Cup today. I was very disappointed. I still am quite disappointed. Mbappe missing that penalty kick at the end. It's hard to blame Mbappe for anything. He's such a great player, but it was super disappointing that he wasn't able to put it in the net, and that was that, and France is done. That's soccer, though, Things happen real quick. It sucks. I'm disappointed. I'm still disappointed. Brian Firth on the chat, Angelo on the chat, Doug Hepburn on the chat. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitch, you can subscribe as well, like the video, leave a comment. It helps the algorithm and all of that. Bob Cote getting to the pro wrestling. Let's get into the pro wrestling and what we saw on Monday Night Raw here. Drew McIntyre wins the main event. It was a triple threat. Riddle, AJ Styles, and Drew McIntyre. Now, it was supposed to be a last chance Money in the Bank qualifier. And Randy Orton, who had lost a qualifying match last week to John Morrison, AJ Styles, and Drew McIntyre, who lost their qualifying matches last week, they were all supposed to wrestle in a triple threat tonight. The show starts off, and Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville say, well, Randy Orton, he can't compete tonight. He's unable to be there. Why? Where's Randy? I'm kind of confused. Like, what? Is Randy okay? I have no idea. I don't know if anybody knows right now. I don't know what the story is. But Randy was just not there tonight. Is he hurt? Is this part of the story? Is he taking just a couple weeks off? I don't know. I don't know why Randy couldn't be there. So they're going to do a battle royal to take Randy's spot in the match later tonight. Instead of just picking somebody to be in the match, they're like, let's do a battle royal and double book somebody, make it really tough for them when they're in a triple threat against Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles, two of the top guys in the company. It doesn't really make sense that you would do that to somebody in a real setting, but hey, it's the WWE, so whatever. So they do a battle royal, and Riddle wants to be in the battle royal even though he's already qualified for Money in the Bank, and he would be acting as Randy Orton. Basically, he was Randy Orton, acting as Orton, trying to get Randy a spot in Money in the Bank. Being a good friend for his tag team partner, Randy Orton, who, for no reason in particular, is just not there tonight. So there's a battle royal, and Riddle's in it, and the Viking Raiders are in it, and Mansoor is in it. Like, they threw everybody in this thing. Angel Garza, Shelton Benjamin, Mustafa Ali, I think, was in this thing. Drew Gulak, Humberto Carrillo, Akira Tozawa, R-Truth, Jinder Mahal was there. Cedric Alexander, Jeff Hardy. Like, it was packed of, like, all sorts of different people that, you know, whoever they have left, right? After the recent string of cuts, whoever they have left. So there was some 24/7 title action here too. Like, where has this been? Where's the 24/7 title been? I was under the impression that they dropped this whole thing, but they brought it back. Apparently Akira Tozawa is the 24/7 champion. Like, I watch Raw every week. I haven't seen the 24/7 title angle where they're all running after each other in a while, right? Where did this come from? This is back now? So Tozawa is the 24/7 champion. Drew Gulak, after Tozawa was eliminated from the Battle Royal, because, like, of course he was, Drew Gulak rolls him up, and he's the new 24/7 champion. Then R-Truth came, and he became the champion, and then Tozawa took it back from Truth. So they did that during the Battle Royal, and I was like, what? Omos, at a certain point, just comes out, and he grabs both Viking Raiders, allowing, like, Jinder Mahal, I think, to toss them out of the ring. Damian Priest was in this Battle Royal. Where's Damian Priest been? He's been kind of off and on TV for a while, mostly off, and now he just comes back. Keith Lee still missing in action, strangely enough. But Damian Priest, he was back, and seemingly just as kind of meat in this Battle Royal. He did wind up at the end of this thing with Riddle. It was Riddle and Damian Priest at the end. It was Priest, Riddle, Cedric, and Jeff Hardy at the end of it. And then Riddle wound up eliminating Damian Priest to win the match. And then Riddle played Randy's music. They had Riddle's music playing to celebrate, but then Riddle wanted them to play Randy's music, and he posed like Randy, which was kind of funny. It was all right. I like Riddle, but the Battle Royal thing, it was just a lot. It was a lot to get nowhere. I didn't love it. And then we had the main event, which I did like. Drew McIntyre getting the win over AJ Styles and Riddle. I like the match. I'm not sure about the conclusion with Drew McIntyre winning. It seems a little strange that Drew McIntyre would win this one. Drew McIntyre hits his deal on Riddle, and he beats him. Hits his kick thing. After he had AJ Styles beat,
Super chat.
right? He had AJ beat, and then Omos pulls AJ Styles out of the ring. And that was the only interference that Omos did, mind you, in a triple threat match where there are no rules. Angelo says he forgot the 24/7 title still existed. Yeah, me too. Me too. I don't understand. Very strange. Am I missing super chats here? Oh, no, wait. There's Angelo. Angelo is a super chat leader of the night. There we go. Did Brian drop a super chat that I didn't see? I don't know. I saw some stuff from Brian before, but I didn't see, because it said 16, but I don't see that total. Maybe the gimmick underneath is confusing me. I don't know. The hell am I talking about? Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles. Why didn't Omos interfere more in that match? It's a triple threat match. There are no rules. At one point, they put Drew McIntyre through a table. AJ and Riddle kind of worked together, and they slammed him through a table. It was pretty awesome. AJ took a nice suplex on the outside. Like, this match was very good. Match of the night by far. The rest of Raw was uneventful. Nothing really happened tonight on Raw other than this thing. It was all about Riddle and Riddle kind of defending Randy's honor or whatever, wherever Randy is. And then the match itself, which was like a good half hour of the show. I don't understand why Omos didn't just jump in and start attacking guys for AJ Styles. He's gigantic. No one has beat him. He's AJ's buddy. He's ringside. It's a no disqualification match. I guess if he started doing that, maybe the ref would banish him from ringside. I guess he could do that. But the interference that Omos did was pointless because Drew, he's pinning AJ Styles. 1, 2, Omos pulls AJ Styles out of the ring so he can't get pinned. But then Drew goes over and hits his deal on Riddle and just pins Riddle. So AJ still loses. Good job, Omos. And Drew McIntyre wins. Which, okay, I thought Randy Orton was going to win this thing because it made the most sense. He's got the tag team with Riddle. It's a tag team where they like each other, but Randy seems to not like him. It would make sense to have Randy in the Money in the Bank ladder match with Riddle, who's already qualified, so that they could kind of continue their feud of, are they together or do they hate each other, or does Randy hate him? I mean, Riddle obviously likes Randy, but it's unclear if Randy is fully accepting of Riddle, right? So they can continue that in the Money in the Bank ladder match. So you figured Randy was going to win, but now Randy's not here tonight. So you wonder, is Randy even going to be at Money in the Bank, the pay-per-view? Is something wrong with Randy? What's the story with Randy Orton? It throws a whole wrench into everything. So I don't know if this is a story where they're like, let's have Riddle kind of help out Randy so Randy can be more indebted to Riddle to continue their angle together. Or was this a last-minute thing like, shit, we don't have Randy. Let's have Drew win, I guess, because they didn't want AJ Styles to win because maybe they have plans for AJ Styles to defend the tag team titles with Omos at Money in the Bank? I don't understand why you have Drew McIntyre win this match. This was the last thing I was expecting because Drew McIntyre winning this match gives him a title shot whenever he wants. But on the last pay-per-view, he lost a match to the champion, and the stipulation was if he lost, he could never face that champion again. So Drew's going to win Money in the Bank and, like, challenge Roman Reigns? It just doesn't make sense to have Drew right back in the title picture for a Money in the Bank under these weird rules where he just lost the opportunity to ever challenge Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship ever again. When he lost at Hell in a Cell, that was a stipulation. You lose at Hell in a Cell, you can't ever challenge Bobby again. And now he's in the Money in the Bank ladder match. So what happens if he wins the briefcase? Can he cash in on Bobby? Or does he have to hold on to it until Bobby's not champion? Does he help somebody beat Bobby so he could cash in on them? It's a little weird. It's a little weird to put Drew in this match. It confuses things. But there he is, Drew McIntyre in this Money in the Bank ladder match. Of course, we have Riddle, who's already qualified. Rick O'Shea somehow has qualified for this thing. Drew McIntyre has now qualified. Who else is in this? John Morrison, Big E. Either Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn, because they're going to wrestle each other on SmackDown for a spot. And then 2 more men will be entering that match. You got to see Drew is an odds-on favorite for it at this point. Kind of crazy that they put him in this match. You can't do Drew versus Bobby again. You can't. You can't. You already booked your way out of it. So I hope Drew doesn't win Money in the Bank because that would be really confusing. But I guess he could just wait until, Brock comes in and maybe Brock beats Bobby and Drew cashes in on Brock. These are all possibilities, but they just won't let go of this Drew McIntyre thing, kind of running big matches and the main event type thing. Yeah. Which is fine. He had a good match tonight. It was a good match. It was a very good match, triple threat. Kind of a confusing finish, though. The finish wasn't great overall with the Omos interference there and then Drew just pinning Riddle instead. Riddle had left the match earlier. He kicked the steel steps with his bare foot and sold that he had broken his foot. He came back. He went backstage. He came back later on, and his foot was all taped up, but not a real injury. I wonder if Randy maybe kicked something and broke his toe, and that's not why he's there, and that's why Riddle did that thing tonight, because it really didn't have too much bearing on the finish of the match. What was the story with that? Was that a rib on Randy? Were they making fun of Randy because that's what happened to him, and that's why he's not here tonight? He got mad and kicked something, broke his toe? I mean, that happens, right?
Hello.
What the hell was that? Hello. All right. Crazy stuff. Drew McIntyre is in the Money in the Bank ladder match. A lot of Riddle tonight, which is always good. Riddle once again, in the match of the night. Not surprised about that. He's the man. AJ Styles looking great tonight as well. Drew McIntyre looking pretty good. It was a solid match. It was a solid main event. The rest of the show, yeah. Nikki Cross beat Shayna Baszler with a roll-up. Alexa Bliss with a little bit of distraction there. She was ringside during the match. She wound up just kind of staring at Nia Jax for a while. At least there was no trickery here. There didn't seem to be any sort of hypnosis. Alexa was just kind of staring at her, and Nia just kind of stared at her back. And then, there might have been a little hypnosis there, but it wasn't like she was lifting her hand and making her slap somebody. And then Alexa just kicked Nia and then kicked Reggie in the balls like real fast and then kind of walked away. And Shayna got distracted by that. And then Nikki Cross with her new gimmick where she's a superhero. She's the Blue Meanie or whatever. She beats Shayna with a roll-up after the distraction. So I guess Alexa's a babyface? We're going with Alexa as a babyface. All right. We'll see what the live crowd thinks about that. And this Nikki Cross gimmick, yeah, I don't know. Kofi Kingston did an in-ring promo talking about his match with Bobby Lashley at Money in the Bank. Talked about Woods and Lashley having that Hell in a Cell match. And Kofi says Woods will be back next week. And Bobby wasn't there. Where's Bobby? MVP came out with new music. And all the ladies, the Bobby Lashley MVP ladies, I don't know. What is their role? Are they part of the Hurt Business? Is this the new Hurt Business? What's with the ladies? It's always the same ones, I think. I recognize a couple of them. I honestly don't pay that much attention to them, so I'm not sure who they are or if they're the same ones every week. But, there's just several ladies every week with Bobby and MVP for no particular reason. They just kind of stand behind them. It's strange. It's a strange gimmick. It doesn't really add up to anything. Are they business associates? Are they friends? Are they more than friends? What exactly, if they're business associates, what exactly do they do for Bobby Lashley and MVP? What is their role in the Hurt Business? It seems very strange to have these women on TV at this point in time. What is their purpose? Why do Bobby Lashley and MVP have a group of ladies with them every week? Is no one asking what their purpose is? Is no one saying, why do these women hang out with these guys? It's several women. Are we to understand that they're all MVP's girlfriends? Because that is beginning to be my assumption now. That I watch it and I see that they were just with MVP and Bobby wasn't there. Are they all having sex with MVP? Is MVP like a Godfather type guy? He's got a cane. Is he the Godfather? Is MVP a pimp at this point? And they just don't want to say it outright, so they're just they don't say anything? They've never addressed who these people are or why they're with them. They're just with them. Why wouldn't they be? It's Bobby Lashley. He wears suits. He's very muscly. Why wouldn't they hang out with Bobby Lashley? Well, because, why are they always... Because they want to be on TV? Is that it? Bobby's like, hey, if you hang out with me, I'll put you on TV? It's strange. It's a strange group. And they've never explained why MVP came out tonight to cut his promo with a bunch of women around him. And then eventually Kofi... it was a decent promo from the guys. They speak well. It's, fine. I don't believe Kofi's going to beat Bobby Lashley at Money in the Bank, so, it's hard to watch these promos that I just don't buy. I think the match will be fine, but, I don't think WWE's going that way with Kofi Kingston, unfortunately. And then MVP came down to the ring at a certain point and got hit with Trouble in Paradise kick there from Kofi, and that was that. Angelo was saying maybe they're escorts. Yeah, maybe they are. A lot of people are thinking that they are escorts. Ladies of the night. Friends of the Godfather. Friends of the road. Right? I don't understand. I don't understand who these women are supposed to be. Does MVP have a wrestling school? Are they his trainees that he is teaching to wrestle? That would actually make sense. It's they want to wrestle. They're all trying to be wrestlers, so I take them to Raw so they could see what it's like being a pro wrestler, living the life, and they're learning. And this is just Monday night, but you don't see me, Tuesday to Sunday when I'm in the ring and we're just training them, and they're all wrestlers. I mean, say that. Say that. I mean, they all look, some of them look like wrestlers. A couple of them look pretty muscular. I don't know if they're wrestlers in training, or what. But yeah, with the cane and the whole thing, like, people start to wonder about MVP. People are starting to wonder, well, what is the affiliation? And they're not thinking nice things. So if you want them to think better things, brighter things, why not say, these are my trainees. I am training them to wrestle. And maybe one day you'll see them in NXT or the WWE. That's all you have to say. And yeah, me and Bobby like having them around because they're pretty ladies. Fine. But right now, it's like, are you the Godfather now, MVP? What's the story? Because when, like, two guys come out with, like, 8 women, people are like, what is... And they're kind of, scantily clad ladies. It's like, well, what's happening here? The last time we saw this, it was the Godfather. Yeah. Weird stuff. It continued. It kept getting weirder. Raw was not good tonight, right? Raw was not good. So we had that Kofi and MVP promo, which honestly was one of the better things we saw on Raw. Next, we had Doudrop and Eva Marie versus Asuka and Naomi. And Eva Marie refused to tag in when Doudrop went to tag her. But Doudrop won anyways, and just like cross-bodied Asuka. She kind of like tossed Naomi aside, cross-bodied Asuka, 1, 2, 3. Doudrop wins on her own, beating Asuka and Naomi. My question is, why are you with Eva Marie, Doudrop? If you can beat Naomi and Asuka on your own, you should be the women's champion at this point. Rhea Ripley didn't beat Asuka as easily as you did. She certainly didn't do it 2-on-1. How did they book Doudrop this strong? Is it just because of the affiliation with Eva Marie? It's outrageous that they had her beat Asuka like this. This is Asuka, man. I mean, it shows you what's happening to Asuka right now. Asuka was a tag team partner of Naomi tonight, and they lost to Doudrop and Eva Marie, but not even Eva Marie, because she bailed on the match. She's like, no, Doudrop, you do this on your own. I'm teaching you a lesson. And Doudrop's like, fuck you, Eva Marie. Fine, I'll do it anyways. And she did. Doudrop is supposed to lose in that situation. She's not supposed to win. They lost last week, didn't they? Doudrop? It's unbelievable that they're having Asuka job to Doudrop. I mean, 1-on-1, I could maybe accept it. But 2-on-1, it's Naomi and Asuka versus Doudrop. Last week, it was Asuka and Naomi beating Eva and Doudrop when Eva tagged herself in and got rolled up. Eva, when she got involved last week, she lost. This week, it's all Doudrop, and Doudrop wins. I mean, beat Dana and Mandy on your own. Don't beat Asuka and Naomi on your own. That's ridiculous. But they did it. Asuka was the women's champion for the better part of a year. And she just lost in a handicap match against Doudrop. I mean, what the fuck? That was shocking. Why couldn't it have been? I guess because I was going to say Asuka and Naomi with Rhea Ripley because they did a 6-woman tag later on, but I guess because Asuka and Naomi are baby faces, they had to do the Doudrop match tonight. They got the thing with Doudrop going, but goddamn, man, this is where Asuka is right now? Terrible. Eva Marie announced herself as the winner tonight because, she's a heel. And she's mean to Doudrop. Eventually, Doudrop's going to turn on Eva Marie, and no one will give a shit. And then Doudrop will go back to losing to people like Asuka. Ricochet and John Morrison went to a double countout. Ricochet hit a pretty nice springboard crossbody on John Morrison. Morrison sitting on the barricade. Ricochet from in the ring jumps up to the top rope, springboard crossbody on Morrison. They fly into the front row. The camera, of course, didn't catch the impact on the floor, so you know that there was a crash pad there. The camera went to the Miz, who was ringside, and they followed Miz as he wheeled over on his wheelchair because he's injured. He wheeled over. So they're following Miz for a good while on camera so that they could remove the crash pad under Morrison and Ricochet that broke their fall. Still doing more of these fake bumps. The match was all right up until that point. The finish move was cool, but these crash pad bumps, they're just doing them way too often now. It's too much. It's like every show they do one. Almost every show. It's a lot. We had one at Hell in a Cell, right, with Bobby and Drew. We had one with Rey Mysterio on SmackDown a couple weeks ago in the Hell in a Cell with Roman. We had one with Dominic Mysterio the week before when he got tossed into the front row. Like a lot of crash pad bumps where you're not actually seeing the impact, so you know they're falling into a nice soft cushion that they have set up for them. They can't do that with a live crowd, so you better get these soft bumps out of the way. It was a nice little move by Ricochet, but that bump kind of, you lose it a little bit. Poor Asuka. Charlotte Flair, Natalya, and Tamina beat Rhea Ripley and the Sexy Muscle Friends, Dana and Mandy. Charlotte hit a big boot on Mandy for the pinfall. And then Rhea hit Charlotte with a chop block after the match. It's going to be Charlotte versus Rhea for the Raw Women's title at Money in the Bank. Again, Rhea got disqualified in their match at Hell in a Cell. And now they're having another match where Rhea could get herself disqualified again. And I guess the Sexy Muscle Friends are feuding with Natty and Tamina for the women's tag titles in a feud that, I can't imagine anyone is that invested in. I don't think any wrestling fan right now is like, man, I cannot wait for when they do the tag team title match between Natty, Tamina, and Mandy and Dana. That's going to be killer. There is not a wrestling fan out there. There might be a couple. There's some, you always see those, number one Mandy Rose fan accounts on Twitter, and you're like, who is this guy? And then you click, and you're like, I don't know. It's just pictures of Mandy Rose. You don't know who this person is. It's strange, though. Everybody has super fans in WWE. You ever notice that? Like, there are Dana Brooke super fans. I remember I tweeted something about Dana Brooke. She had, like, a dark match that I was at, and she won. And I tweeted it out, and it was getting retweets for, like, days. It was very strange. Some Dana Brooke fans out there, like Dana Brooke has a massive following on social media, I guess. It's strange. Because wrestling fans see Dana Brooke, and they're like, nah. But everybody has their fans. Everybody's got their hardcore, diehard fans. Some people have more than others, but Charlotte, Natty, and Tamina beat Rhea and Mandy and Dana. Yeah, live fans are coming back, guys. Live fans coming back in 3 weeks' time. I said it earlier here on the show. 3 weeks. For live fans on Raw, 2 weeks for live fans on SmackDown, right? 16th of July. 2 more episodes of SmackDown this Friday, next Friday, and then the Friday after. We're live, pal, in Houston, Texas. WWE going to Houston, Dallas, Cleveland, Kansas City, and Minneapolis for TV in the month of July. So a lot of Texas AEW is going to Texas as well. Texas and Florida mostly. AEW is going back on the road. Starting on the 7th, they'll be in Miami for Dynamite. Then on the 14th in Cedar Park, Texas. The 21st in Garland, Texas. And then the 28th for a special Fight for the Fallen episode of Dynamite in Charlotte, North Carolina. Ooh. That's going to be a hot one. July 28th in Charlotte for AEW Dynamite. That's going to be good. Can assume Cody Rhodes have a big match there, right? Tonight we had Jackson Ryker beating Elias in a strap match. It was not much of a match. They really didn't do very much as far as the strap match goes. This was uneventful. Usually strap matches go longer than like 3 minutes. This was short and nothing happened. Jackson Ryker hit like a black hole slam type of deal, kind of spinning around, slam, 1, 2, 3, beat Elias. No one gives a shit. Jackson Ryker and Elias. The fact that these guys are on TV, it's like, what? How is that happening? Why do these guys get TV time to wrestle? You fired Braun Strowman, but you kept Elias and Jackson Ryker? Could you just have got rid of both guys and kept Braun Strowman? What's the salary on those guys? How much are you paying Elias? I mean, I'm not trying to get rid of anybody. I'm just saying, if you're going to get rid of people, how come you keep Jackson Ryker and Elias and not Braun Strowman or, other guys? I don't know. I see them on Raw. They've kept Jackson Ryker around for a while, and I'm just surprised. I wish him well. I hope he keeps his job and everything goes fine. But, why is he on Raw? Why are we watching him versus Elias on Raw? Why are we still watching Elias? Isn't this gimmick played out? Aren't we done with this? But I guess not. I heard Fandango was in the WWE for 14 years. And a lot of it was as Fandango. That gimmick lasted for a while, right? A lot of weird gimmicks stick around for a while. You look at Elias. How long did Honky Tonk Man last, right? So I guess, yeah. Raw was not good tonight. Nikki Cross and Shayna, with all the Alexa Bliss stuff, bleh. The Battle Royal with Riddle in it that you knew he was going to win. Maybe Damian Priest, but I really just never believed in it. I thought Riddle was going to win the whole time because he was there. The Randy thing was happening. That was nothing special. And it took forever to get through. It was like 30 to 40 minutes until we were done with the promo and the Battle Royal and all that stuff. Kofi and MVP's promo was all right. Doudrop and Eva Marie beating Asuka and Naomi was ridiculous, and the match was really nothing. Ricochet and Morrison. The 6-woman tag was really nothing special either. Ryker versus Elias. The only match worth watching tonight was the triple threat, Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles, and Riddle, and that ended with a confusing finish. Harold Schneider says there are so many that are worse than jobbers. Are we talking about wrestlers? For sure. There are worse looking wrestlers than Jackson Ryker and Elias. There are worse in-ring wrestlers than Jackson Ryker and Elias. They're not the worst wrestlers I've ever seen, but they are far from the best. And that's more the point. They're not the worst. Sure. But at this point in time, I think I've seen enough of Elias. I kind of get it. I've seen it. I've seen what he does. It hasn't really changed in several years. Unless they're going to do something drastic with Elias, I don't know. They got to change it up. He is not great wrestling-wise. Talking-wise, it's the same promo pretty much every night. He looks great. He's jacked, I don't know why you split up Jackson Ryker and Elias, quite frankly. I would have kept them together as a tag team, at least. At least you could do a Jeff Jarrett and the Roadie thing. That's kind of what they had going, where Elias was the guy and Ryker was his backup. That lasted for, a month? And then Ryker turns on Elias. and they're both going to go on to less than they would have accomplished if they would have stayed a tag team. They should have remained a tag team. Raw has no tag teams in their division. They've got the Viking Raiders, who are the number one contenders to the tag team champions, AJ Styles and Omos, who are not a real tag team, right? The Raiders are. AJ and Omos, they're not a real tag team. Who else is on Raw as a tag team? Is there another tag team on Raw? I mean, Miz and Morrison were a tag team, but Miz is hurt.
Super chat.
I don't think that. I guess Kofi and Woods, but Kofi's doing, a WWE title feud right now. You had Cedric and Shelton. You split them up, and now, how's that going? There are no tag teams on Raw. Doug Hepburn says, Danny Brooke for Prime Minister. I mean, that would be dark. If AJ was the Prime Minister, I see my man AJ's on the chat. If AJ was the Prime Minister, things would go terribly wrong. I mean, he would somehow do a worse job than the current Prime Minister, which is, not easy to do, but I think he would probably do worse. Sorry, AJ, I just don't trust you to lead a government. I don't think you would do very well leading a government. You are a great MMA show co-host. You are great at that. You are the best in the world. One of the best. I mean, next to Fred, you're second best. But Prime Minister, I just don't see it in your future, unfortunately. Tune in to Ringside Report MMA this Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We took St. Jean off last week because it was also my son's birthday. I don't think we're taking Canada Day off, though, this Thursday night, are we? I mean, we could. What do you think, AJ? AJ wants to do the show. We got so much to talk about. We got so much to talk about in MMA. There's so much going on in the sport. Goddamn Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou, he's been champion for 3 months. They couldn't get the fight done for August, so instead they're doing an interim title fight with our man Cyril Gane taking on Derek Lewis for the interim heavyweight title in the UFC. Holy shit. Cyril's going to be champion. A lot faster than we predicted, too. We called Cyril Gane as the next UFC champion for a long time now. I mean, his first fight in the UFC, we said this guy was going to be champion? Francis is running from Cyril right now. Francis, he doesn't want any part of Cyril Gane. I'm telling you. He doesn't want that shit. He knows what's going to happen. I didn't post my parlay this week, but Team Dave came through once again. I had a little baby parlay. I had Andre Fili and Cyril Gane for the win. Unfortunately, the Andre Fili fight ended in a no contest when Fili did an accidental eye poke to his opponent there, but Fili was whooping that ass. He was going to get the win. I was a little pissed, but with the no contest, it's a push on the parlay ticket, so you still won money with Cyril Gane. He came through dominant victory over Volkov, as we knew he would. Cyril Gane is unstoppable. Nobody's fucking with Gane. Nobody. I think Stipe had actually give him some problems, but I don't think Francis or Derek Lewis or anybody like that is going to give him problems. I think a guy that'll wrestle him might be a problem for Cyril because he hasn't really been tested that way, so you never know. But if you're going to stand up with Cyril Gane, good fucking luck. You're done. You are done. Nobody can stand up with Cyril, including Ngannou, including Derek Lewis. I know how scary they are power-wise, but power doesn't mean shit if you can't touch the man. If he's out-touching you and he's just beating you and outpointing you and frustrating you, it's a different thing. So as you can tell, I'm pretty charged up to talk about MMA this Thursday night at 8 p.m. with my man AJ. I am pumped to talk about Cyril Gane. I'm pumped to talk about Anderson Silva's boxing win, which we haven't talked about yet. I'm pumped to talk about Conor McGregor being like, What are we, 10 days away from Conor? Conor's July 10th. We'll be 10 days away. We'll be like 9 days away, right, when we do the show on Thursday night. Ooh, baby. Conor Poirier 3, UFC 264. We'll be doing the watch along right here on the channel. Get ready for it. This is your home for everything Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, the trilogy fight. They're 1-1. We will give you the winner. We will preview the fights. Holy shit. It's Conor time. I mean, right? Conor McGregor. Angelo liked the picture we posted on Twitter with Cyril Gann. Yeah, we've known Cyril Gann for a long time, right? He was a champion back in the TKO days. His first 3 MMA fights were for Quebec promotion TKO. He was the Quebec champion. Came over from France. Stéphane Patry with a very keen eye for talent brought him over, and he just wrecked people here. And we talked to him here. We met him here, and we knew this guy, he's going to be a real problem. And as soon as you see him in the UFC, it's like, holy shit. So, yeah, we have a picture with Cyril. We've been on the Cyril Gann train for a long time. I'm telling you, he is not getting beat right now. I'm taking Cyril in that fight with Derek Lewis. I hope he's an underdog so we can win some more money for you. All right, Ringside Report MMA this Thursday night, 8 p.m. Go to ringsidereport.net. Support the channel with a one-time donation. Go to donate.ringsidereport.net. You could also go to merch.ringsidereport.net. You want one of these cool cups that I have? Look at that. That's my face. Look at AJ's faces on that thing. Get one of these cups over at merch.ringsidereport.net. We got hats, we got t-shirts, we got everything over at merch.ringsidereport.net. I think Johnny might be with me on Friday night, but I don't know. Because there might be hockey on Friday. Is there hockey on Friday? You guys will know. I'll be back Thursday, 8 p.m. for MMA. We're going to start doing some Dynamite post shows, too, coming up for some of these big episodes of Dynamite coming up in the month of July. So stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe and like the video. If you haven't liked the video already, if you haven't subscribed, please do that. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody for supporting the channel and becoming a member. Click that join button right beneath the video if you're watching on YouTube. Thank you to the members. I see you, Angelo. Also the Super Chat leader, Angelo Contagonis, out in Laval, Quebec. Thank you, Angelo. Good man. Doug Hepburn, out in Kingston, Ontario. Despite your choices for Prime Minister, you're still a good man, Doug. Thank you for the Super Chat. Thank you, Harold Schneider, member of the team as well, dropping the Super Chat. Appreciate you, Harold. And Brian Firth as well. Happy birthday to your nephew. Did he want... I know he wanted an impression, but I don't know. He never gave me a request for what impression he wanted. I don't know what impression you wanted there, Brian, so... I don't know. I wish I could give you the impression for your 2-year-old nephew there, but I don't know. I don't know who you wanted. And as we know, I've got a long list of guys that I impersonate here on the show. Mako saying shame on Johnny. I like it. Why? Franco saying leave Johnny alone. Yeah, all right. I don't know what the deal is. I like that too, Franco. Leave Johnny alone. Poor Johnny. Habs lost tonight. Leave Johnny alone. Poor guy. He must be bummed. Nick wants Jim Ross, but it's not Nick's birthday. Good God almighty, pal! I had some steak tonight. I had a T-bone steak on the barbecue. And I had some JR's barbecue sauce. The hot barbecue sauce, jrsbbq.com. Good God almighty. It was not a $2 steak. It was not tougher than a $2 steak. It was a good steak. It was delicious. Delicious. Killed it. Killed it with the T-bones tonight. All right, guys. Love you. Appreciate you. I'll be back later. This afternoon after France lost, I was contemplating not doing a show tonight because I was so pissed off. And I'm still pissed off. God damn it. But, you know, it was all right. I'm all right. But I'm pissed off that France lost. I got to tell you. I am not too happy about it. But what are you going to do? I'll watch soccer again in, another year or two? When is the World Cup? Is the World Cup next year? I guess because it's usually every 2 years. They got a Euro and then they got a World Cup. And 2022, so next summer. Because last summer they postponed the Euro. It was supposed to be last summer, so they moved it to this summer. So next summer must be a World Cup, right? So, hey, there's always next year, which is something you can't usually say after one of these big France soccer defeats. You always say it's always, 2 more years, maybe we get one. But here it's next year we got another shot at the World Cup. Of course, France still defending World Cup champions.
Super chat.
Angelo saying Dynamite back on this Wednesday. Yes, Dynamite is on Wednesdays starting this Wednesday. I don't think we'll be doing a post-Dynamite show this Wednesday, though. I think we're going to start when Dynamite goes back on the road for Road Rager in Miami on July the 7th. That's going to be a fun one. Yes, Franco says 2022 in Qatar. Next fall. Oh, the fall. I guess summer is too hot. Next fall in Qatar. Or Qatar? I don't know. Well, that's good. So maybe France will win that tournament and all will be well and all will be forgotten for this Euro Cup defeat. But, Portugal went out. France is out now. Portugal is the defending champions. France now defending World Cup champions are out. It's anybody's ball game. Of course, my man AJ wants Italy to win, and they're still in it. And, hey, maybe they'll win. Maybe they will win. Oh, well. But that's it. That's it. I'll be back Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time to talk MMA with AJ and everybody. Thank you for supporting the channel. Appreciate you. See you again real soon.